Hello, Polyfam! Fritzline here, hoping that you are all having a wonderful day. I'm pretty excited, as this is the channel's first request. I've received a lot of love and appreciation in the comments, so thanks a lot for taking the time. You make all this work definitely worth it. I think this challenge is especially fitting, as before me, I'm starting my own Pokemon journey, trying different Pokemon available in the first routes of the game. Rattata also appeared in the same episode as Pidgey and Spearow. I hope I can get mine to steal some badges rather than my food. I have fond memories of this Pokemon from when I was a kid. I made my teams with the first 6 Pokemon I saw, so Raticate was in a lot of my comps. I loved how speedy it was, as it let me progress through the game quickly. Right now, we mostly remember how Joey's Rattata is in the most percentage of all Rattata. I'm sorry friend, but mine is going to be on the top this time. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First off, a little recap on the rules of the challenge. I can only use my starter Pokemon in battle. I cannot use any items in battle, just a Pokédoll to skip the Marowak Ghost in Pokemon Tower. I can only battle against the mandatory trainers to progress through the story. Not leveling or repeating battles for experience allowed. If I get stuck in a battle fighting normally at least 10 times, I can do a perfect battle, where I will repeat each turn until I get a miss for my opponent and a critical hit for us. If that isn't enough, I will use a rare candy and repeat the process until I can get through. If you like this kind of content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more upcoming challenges, share this video with a friend, and ring the bell so you are notified when that happens. With that out of the way, let's begin! This video will feature the Digger Dancer and prematurely dead Rattata, the mouse Pokemon. These are glass cannon stat, no doubt. He shares that in common with our last Pokemon, Spearow. We will be outspeeding the competition, and doing enough damage thanks to our good attack stat. They also have a common access to a strong stat-based attack, being this time Hyper Fang. But the thing that sets Rattata apart is his vastly TM move pool. Do you remember how painful those rock types were? Not anymore thanks to Dig! Mimic or Substitute are some great moves too to get some batch boost and resist hits from our opponents. Sadly, some of his best moves are special, like Thunderbolt or Blizzard, but who knows, maybe there's a chance of using them. At what level do you think this little rat can pull this off? Will it be better than the rest of the Route 1 Pokemon? It helps with the algorithm, so put your thoughts in the comments. Having a stab normal move as your only attack means 2 things. First, the lab fight is pretty trivial. I picked Bulbasaur as Venusaur and Gyarados are scarier than Blastoise and Exeggutor for Rattata. Second, I needed a perfect battle for Rattata to get through his fight with Brock. That means I needed my opponent to miss each turn so that I was able to deal damage for free. To play through a perfect battle, I make a save state after each perfect turn, and then reset until my opponent misses. Even this is scary, as our critical hits just do 1 damage, so we could feign the struggling before finishing the fight. Luckily, we level up after Geodude, getting another damaging move, Quick Attack. I just needed to alternate between it and bind with Onix to get our first batch. Everything goes really smoothly after that. We already have Hyper Fang for our next rival battle, which tends to be scary because of that trolley fat bear he leads up with. Hyper Fang is nearly a 2-hit and he went down after hitting just 1 Sun attack. It's funny because we didn't miss with his Abra with his useless crap, but twice with his Rattata, who put us in KO range before going down. Our luck turned out when Bulbasaur decided to derp around instead of finishing us. Thanks for being honest and not take a win you don't deserve. After breaking through a cosplayer's house, we could get our new powerful move, Dig, which was our ticket to actually do some damage to rock types. Our next rival fight was even easier. It always surprises me how that's normally the case, even if the battles are very close together. Our little rat made his fat birdie bite the dust for once. All of his Pokemon are 2 hits, and we are faster than Kadabra, so everything just died. Yay! All of that biting made my Rattata ready to face Misty. Her Staryu died in 1 hit, but her ace wasn't going to be as easy. She was faster and our special was really low, so we needed her to cooperate. Our purple machine gun didn't disappoint, eating her tackle and striking back with a powerful critical hit, leaving her in KO range. Or so I thought, but my next quick attack left her with a sliver of health. Bubble Beam would have been devastating here, but she used Water Gun instead, letting us get our second batch. I know this fight isn't hard with our moveset, but I just wanted to share how I decimate the hiker after all the trouble he gave Spearow. I could have used Dig too, but I wanted to make them feel ashamed. Speed up then, little rat! With our powerful shovel on hand, Search was a cakewalk. All of his Pokemon were 1-hits. At least I left him the holes to bury all his Pokemon on my way out. Next one was my rival on Pokemon Tower. I normally do this fight before search, but I was having a bad feeling about his Gyarados. Guess what? He knows Hydro Pump at level 23! That's so unfair. Luckily, we have Thunderbolt, which killed him in 2 hits while he kept violently staring at us. The rest were all 1 hit, so we were cruising. After chewing some random trainers to death, I took on Erika. Her Victory Bell was the scariest one, as he doesn't die in 1 hit and can 1-hit KO us with Razor Leaf or put us to sleep. In our 5th attempt, the magic happened. A clutch flinch on the Victory Bell! I forgot Hyperfang had a 10% chance of it happening, which I really like. The rest of her Pokemon weren't threatening, but that's only because Vileplume missed a Sleep Powder. That combined with Petal Dance could have been devastating. Koga was the best choice next. It was him or the rival in Sylph, and yeah, at least we have a super effective move to help us here. That didn't guarantee us the win, as all of his Pokemon were 2 hits, leaving us vulnerable for 1 turn. Let's see how Koga took advantage of that. X-Attack, okay. Mac will take me out for sure. Disable Miss, okay, not a good call, but he still had time. Another X-Attack? My god, Koga, stop derping around and try to kill me for real. Well, not like that. I've been using this the whole time, you dummy. Anyway, this man replaced Lorelei on the Gen 2 Elite Four, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the beautiful times were over. Now my choices were Blaine, which has Pokemon over 10 levels higher, or the rival in Sylph, one of the hardest battles in the first section of the game. Well, I did the rival first and he instantly humiliated me. Pidgeot need 4 hits, and even with a critical hit Hyperfang, he had enough time to throw that damn sun all the time, man! After that, this Gyarados just vomited at me and I died. Wonderful. In my depression, I went gambling to get 2 copies of Substitute. Maybe this move could give me a chance to beat Blaine. I mean, I have a super effective move and his weak links to set up my sub, so what could go wrong? Well, it was doable, but not a freebie by any means. All of his Pokemon are 2 hits, chipping us and taking our subs before facing Arcanine. I could get to him most of the times, but that doggo hits like a truck with both Takedown and Fire Blast while being faster and taking 3 dicks to kill. We needed to battle him with a sub on, and for Lord Helix to give us a high five for this one. His Growlithe just keeps staring at us while we sub and take it down in 2 moves. We were so close of one-hitting his Ponyta, but he took our sub before going down. I should have learned my lesson and don't fight Rapidash without a sub, but there I was, stating my stupidity. And I wasn't punished again for it. He missed 2 fire spins in a row, getting buried alive. Maybe Blaine's starting to get senile, and that's why he uses potions when his Pokemon are at full HP. After my second landing, he finally attacked me with Takedown, just to miss, again! He got me with Ember at the end, but it didn't matter. My little rat was already preparing his funeral. Helping him to get out of his misery after that horrible fight was the kindest thing to do. With 1 more level, a boost in special and confidence in my sub strategy, I gave my rival in Sylph another shot. Well, I mean 6. We were faster than Pidgeot, so we could sub and pray for him to use a non-damaging move. He went down in 2 without us taking any damage. Great! I chose Hyperfang versus Gyarados hoping for the flinch, but I didn't get it. He stared at us again! Why this Gyarados is so traumatized, third? A critical Thunderbolt knocked it down. Alakazam was faster, so we need to be sub and for him to waste 1 turn to have a chance. He used Recover! Nice! Hyperfang nearly killed him, but not quite. Turtle's stupidity was on point when he wasted 2 turns using a potion and recover, giving me the time to finish him off. Venusaur is a 3-hit, and his Razor Leaf 1-hit KO us, so this was all about luck. After exchanging blows, my Hyperfang missed, and he used a second Vine Whip, putting us in KO range. I'm at his mercy now, and of course he didn't care. Okay, I'll take the victory either way, thanks very much. The Mafia boss wannabe was next, and the key here was to get to his Nidoqueen with a sub. I don't understand why he didn't stall 2 Moonstones instead of 1. His Kangaskhan started with Rage, taking our subs off before going down. Rhyhorn violently shattered another plushie after the first hit, so it just came down to him not using any attacking move. The poor Rhino couldn't resist to move his booty, giving us the chance we needed. Is it just me or all these trainers are feeling pity for me? Like, it was the second time we got away at 1 hit of death and they just couldn't do it. I was pretty concerned about Sabrina. We didn't have any way to boost our speed, which meant Alakazam was faster and would likely 1-hit KO us with any move. That's why I started the fight trying to finish Kadabra keeping us up. In retrospect, I should have done this with Mr. Mime, which barely attacks. Both of them were 1-hits, and this Psychic Dragon-type Venomoth didn't feel like doing anything either, so we got to Alakazam with our sub on. It was our chance. After a violent bloodfest, we were both at KO range. Alakazam didn't want to die though, focusing too much on keeping himself alive rather than killing us. He begged us to leave, and I would have loved to spare him, but that's not how it works. Sorry bud, I really feel bad for that one. I am pretty sure that I have a curse in this team. Why I keep getting dusted by random trainers here? This time it was the mandatory black belt and his fighting types. We didn't match that well for that fight, I guess. But neither did we for Giovanni, and we still won first try. Well, that's because his decision making is not the one expected for a self-proclaimed best trainer in the world. His right horn just spammed useless moves while I got my sub on and finished him in 2 digs. His duck trio could have been easily bust, and he was faster than us, but I guess dragging him and making him moan was more important. This trend of dumbness continued using Nidoqueen's weakest move, which didn't even break my sub. 4 Pokemon were finally able to defeat a plush. Congratulations! But it was too late. His Rhydon barely attacked me, and I had just enough PP in Dig to finish the fight. Shame on you, Giovanni! Your cool Pokemon deserve better than this. This purple Gravedigger have done an amazing job until this point, but the real pain began here. This next rival fight is normally a nightmare, so I maxed out our attack and speed first. Alakazam was the real run-ender here. His Pidgeot and Rhyhorn were pushovers. They normally barely hit us. His Gyarados needed 2 Thunderbolts and we normally lost our sub. That's okay, since we could get it back with his fearless Growly. The big man came out after that. He's faster than us, and 3 out of his 4 moves ruined my day. We got our win when he finally used Recover first turn, letting us get to his 8th with our sub intact. This was my first time versus his Venusaur, so I didn't know what to expect. My Hyper Fang looked like a 4-hit, so we just need him to use 1 damaging move in 3 turns. My little rat wanted to impress me, scoring a clutch critical hit that put him in KO range. Well, that was easier than I thought. That was definitely not the case with Lorelei. I tried it first with my current moveset. Despite having a better shot this time because she chose her moves randomly, it was pretty brutal. Dugong required 4 hits, and 3 out of her 4 moves were devastating. You wouldn't believe how many tries I lost because of PP stalling. Her Cloyster was even harder. He was a 3-shot with Thunderbolt, but all of his moves were scary. Hitting Clamp was an automatic reset, even with a sub, but her Slowbro was, without a doubt, the worst of all. His bulk was just too high for our little rat, who couldn't finish him quick enough before being too chipped down, if not dead. I only got to Jinx once, and she could easily finish me off with any of her moves. After a dozen tries, I replaced Substitute with Mimic as I had another copy of it. My strategy here was mimicking Slowbro's Amnesia, so I could two-shot the rest of her team. I thought about using Supersonic instead, but its accuracy wasn't really good, and we had more raw power this time thanks to Thunderbolt, so this was the best option. However, getting to Slowbro wasn't an easy feat. Lacking Substitute made the start even more painful, being easily knocked out by her Dugong most of the time. After 87 attempts, I got the luck I needed. Dugong spammed Growl 4 times, which was okay since we are using Thunderbolt. Cloyster was next, and after failing a Supersonic, my heart stopped when he used Clamp, but he also missed, getting me get to Slowbro with full HP. After getting 1 Amnesia up, I knew his Water Gun would barely do any damage. He didn't even bother, so I fully set up and finished him without breaking a sweat. I had been absurdly lucky until now, but this here was insanity. Not only I paralyzed her Jinx with my first Thunderbolt, but she got the fully paralyzed on the same turn. I'm not ashamed to admit I screamed when this happened. Her ace came out, and even a fully boosted, super effective move didn't take her down. She retaliated with Body Slam. I would have lost my mind if she paralyzed me here, but she didn't, and that sealed the deal. Oh boy, what a ride! Facing Bruno after such a traumatic experience was a relief. I just waited until Onyx locked himself on Rage to mimic and use Harden 6 times so I could sweep all of his team. Or that's what I would have done if I didn't forget about Hitmonchan's counter on my first try. Oopsie! My stupidity went even further when I didn't record the next round, where I won using Thunderbolt instead. Sorry about that! I wasn't really concerned about Agatha. Dig is a powerful move against her weak physical defensive Ghost, but we needed a bit of luck to make this fight work. I learned in my first 9 attempts that it's safer finishing her first Gengar as quickly as possible, as he's faster and can mess you up with the status conditions. Even watching the attempts now makes me feel this woman is so trolly. She didn't waste any time making my life miserable. Rattata didn't want to mess around, immediately snapping out of confusion and mimicking his hypnosis. I was underground when she switched it out with Golbat. I can't believe that technique worked out for once. And guess what? When I finished my move, her Golbat confused me again. My purple rat stayed determined, putting the fat bat to sleep and damaging him a little before it was changed with Gengar. The tables turned around when the little shadow felt his hypnosis and we scored a critical hit dig that knocked him out. After that, our purple machine gun just became Super Saiyan. Check this out. We put Gold back to rest forever and one dig was enough for her next hunter. We hit another hypnosis like it was nothing before burying her Arbok alive. Her last Gengar, her ace, is faster than us and could still bring this back. His nice shell put us in KO range. Another hit and it was over. It all depended on us hitting this hypnosis. And we did it! That was insane, guys. I don't know why, but I feel my Pokemon give their best in this battle every time. Maybe they are as pissed as I am with this woman. But there was no time to celebrate. Lance was next, and after my Spearow run, I was pretty concerned. Rattata had an advantage over him, Thunderbolt, which made this fight easier. We still needed luck against his first Gyarados though. He was a 3-hit KO, having 2 turns to 1-hit KO us with 2 of his 4 moves. I think his Dragonairs were more difficult this time, but that's certainly on me. I should have replaced Dig with Blizzard, but I thought I could need it for the rival fight. Without it, we needed 6 turns, so the chances of that happening were pretty low. I think I would have realized this soon enough. However, this game loves me for some reason, and gave me this crazy attempt while I was still figuring things out. Gyarados lasted 2 turns thanks to a critical hit while missing a Hydro Pump. We leveled up here, so we could safely use agility on his next Dragonair. He wasn't just going to stare at us though, he gave us a real beating in his first 2 turns, putting us in KO range. That was it, right? It should have been, but I guess carrying with the death of a little mouse was too much, because he didn't attack me on the next 3 turns. I think my Rattata invented the mode Baby Doll Eyes here, because the next Dragonair didn't want to hurt us either. What about his Aerodactyl? That prehistoric killing machine shouldn't have regretted his vocabulary. Never mind, he went down in 3 hits with a smile on his face. Well, Dragonite, it's just you and me. Will you finish what your little brothers started and make your trainer John feel the shame of being beaten by a Pokemon you could defeat by simply sitting on it? It was a 4-hit, so he had plenty of time. And of course he didn't care. I think he was content with being eaten alive, or maybe was a masochist? I don't know, man. Kanto is full of crazy people, I wouldn't be so surprised. Seriously though, tell me in the comments how many turns his Pokemon wasted. I need to know. What if I told you I spent more than a third of my total playtime on just one battle? I knew this was going to be difficult, but last time it wasn't so bad. I first tried it with my current moveset, and it was impossible. Most of my attempts ended in Pidgeot, who outlasted me with his raw power and better bulk. His Alakazam was even worse. He's faster, and 2 out of his 4 moves instantly killed us. I managed to get past him twice during my first attempts, and both his Gyarados and Rhydon weren't an issue with a little bit of luck. The problem here is Arcanine. Our lack of agility is hurting us here. He's also faster, and while only having a 50% chance of hitting us, he actually did it both times without hesitating. During this grind, I had this battle when we got to this stupid back and forth of not hitting each other for like an eternity. Yeah, good times, I really didn't know what I was doing. In my mind, I needed Dig for taking care of his Rhydon, but it wasn't long when I tried something new. Relearning Substitute could solve most of my problems here. 3 out of 4 of Pidgeot's moves would let me keep that sub for 1 turn, vastly increasing my survivability. Having it while facing Alakazam will let me get 1 hit in. He's a 2-hit, so this increased the move combinations that could let me get past him. With this new tool in my arsenal, his first Pokemon were easier, but Arcanine was even worse, as we didn't have any super effective move now. I also tried Blizzard instead of Mimic, thinking about getting a freeze on Arcanine and do super effective damage against Venusaur. It didn't happen though, and most importantly, our damage isn't high enough. I needed Mimic, and I knew what to do. It was drilling time! I didn't try this before because of a major issue. We are slower than Arcanine, so Horn Drill won't work. We will need to take care of him using Hyper Fang. However, replacing Blizzard with Horn Drill let me kill the Rhydon while having the chance of defeating his Venusaur. The grind was on! Early on, I had this incredible battle where everything went perfectly. Pidgeot flinched and died without damaging us. His Alakazam spanned recover and we got a critical hit. We hit Horn Drill first try through his Gyarados and managed to kill his Arcanine. It was my chance. After an hour, I had finally got to Venusaur. I just needed to clean Horn Drill and Prey, and I was so nervous that I misclicked. Oh my god, that was awful. But I finally saw the way, and that gave me the confidence I needed. During this grind, I replaced Blizzard with Toxic. Hitting Gyarados with Horn Drill was pretty likely, and the poison damage was faster knocking down Arcanine than a Hyper Fang. Pidgeot only broke my sub once thanks to a flinch while charging a Sky Attack before going down. Alakazam was next, and he used Reflex first turn. Not a good start. My rat didn't care, scoring the clutchest critical hit to barely 1-hit KO him. He didn't use Recover, so that was 2 down. I slowly poisoned his Rhydon to death while mimicking our deadly move. Now comes the difficult part. We needed these Hornries to do a miracle here. Gyarados died on our first try, amazing! Arcanine didn't attack us in 4 turns. Okay, this had to be it. I've never faced Venusaur with such high odds. We have a 50% chance on having 3 attempts at this, so please. We didn't need them. In our first try using this move against the giant toad, we hit him, and just like that everything was over. 2 hours and a half later, and in my 181st attempt, I finally did it. Oh god, I was so ready to give up. I told to myself, I will do 200 battles and that's it. I'm so glad that all the hard work paid off in the end. Well, what a way of finishing the challenge! Besides this last fight, our purple machine gun has done an incredible job. I'm so proud of him. I can't wait to see how his efforts rank in our score. I knew it! 2nd place it is! He had many more tries than the rest of the Pokemon. But that's only because we needed less perfect battles. This challenge showcases how well suited Rattata is for Kanto. He's a great fast physical attacker with access to some incredible coverage moves that help him out a lot. Imagine facing those Gyarados without Thunderbolt. Ugh. His early game is amazing, getting Hyper Fang early and Dig to take care of those rock types. Its only gripe is not having access to any stat boosting moves. However, Mimic got the job done in the latter part of the round where I really needed it. It's so much better to just have the stats to go on with in the first place. I can also feel how my routing and decision making keeps improving each round. I think I was pretty efficient with my tries overall, showing the best this Ritter Rat can do. However, I could have been missing something critical I'm not aware of. Please, tell me in the comments if that's the case. I want to continue improving my performance so the results are as accurate as possible. Well, that's everything for today. What are your thoughts on Rattata after this run? Do you have some good memories using him? Which Pokemon would you like me to do a challenge with next? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed this journey and I'll see you all on my next challenge. Let's say goodbye to everyone, buddy. Bye!